This is a video on scatter plots. Scatter plots. So it's a type of graph where you collect information and you graph it. And then you can see if there's a relationship or a pattern. Okay, so let's say we looked at some people and we found out their age and how tall they are. So we took a tiny little girl who is 2 years old. 2 years old. I'm just making a video. She's only 2 years old. And how tall is she? Let's say she is 80 centimeters tall. So somebody measured her and they said she's 80 centimeters. Okay, then we found another girl who's 5 years old. And we checked how tall she is. So then we found a 5-year-old. And we checked, how tall are you? You are 110 centimeters tall. That's pretty tall. Okay, then we found a 12-year-old. Somebody's 12 years old. They have a tall body. And we checked. How tall are they? They are 145 centimeters tall, maybe. Then we found somebody that's 14. They're in grade 9. And we checked how tall they were. And we found out they're 155 centimeters tall. And then we found someone who's 18. And we see that they are 168 centimeters tall.
When are we going to find 100?
So we found 5 different people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And we found out how old they are, their age, and we found out how tall they are, their height. Now we can graph it. Sorry, my children are loud. So remember we were talking about graphs? It's a graph. We called this, one second. We called this is the x-axis. And we said this is the y-axis. And we talked about, we start at 0 in the middle, and then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other way, -1, -2, -3, -4. Remember that? And the y-axis, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we go down, -1, -2, -3. Remember this graph? Okay, well, we are only going to look at, I'm gonna do this in pink. We are only gonna look at this part of the graph. And we're just gonna ignore the rest of it. We're not gonna look at that. We're just gonna look at the pink part. So it will look like this. This is the y-axis. And this is the x-axis. So this is 0, and this is 0. So I'm going to take age, and I'm going to put it on the bottom. Age. I'm going to take height, and I'm going to put it on the side. Height. And then I'm going to pick a scale. I'm going to take away my people. I'm going to make a scale. So the age goes from 2, 5, 12, 14, 18. I'm going to go up by 2, well, by 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh, am I gonna make it? 14, 15, 16. I didn't quite make it to 18. 17. Go a little smaller. 18. I made it. Okay, and then for height, I have to go from 80 all the way to 168. So maybe I'll go up by 10s. Let's see. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Yes, I think I can make it. So I'm going to do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, and I'll just put 170. So we don't have to go like 1, 2, 3, 4. We can do 10, 20, 30, 40. You can go any number. Okay, so that's our scale. So these numbers, they're called a scale. And we're graphing the age of somebody and the height. Age and height. Now we're gonna put the points on. Okay. So if somebody is 2 years old, they are 80 centimeters. So we find 2 years old and we go all the way up until we find 80 centimeters and then we put a point. Right there. So that's this person. Next, I'm gonna do another color. 5 years old and 110 centimeters. So this would be where the 5-year-old is, 5. And 110 is all the way up here. So we put our dot right here. Okay, how about the next one? Someone who's 12 years old is 145 centimeters. So I find 12 years old and I go straight up to 145, right about here. Because see how that's right in between 140 and 150? Okay, next one. 14 years old and 155 centimeters. So 14 years old and 155. So right here. And the last one, 18 years old, 168 centimeters. So 18 years old and 168, right there. That's called a scatter plot. You can graph two things, like age and height, put all these points on the graph. So these are called points. Points. And then we can see as you get older, you get taller. So this graph shows us that as you get older, you get taller. That's what we found out. You probably already knew that, but as you get older, you get taller. That is a scatter plot. And we can even add a line that shows us what the points are doing. So the points are going up to the right. So you can put a straight line on that shows the points are going up to the right. So they're going up to the right. Okay, the end.